This review is not for skins, as it happens, or a change. This is for the new season spring event items that are available, which is the botanical helm and the botanical hands and the Envirotech emblem that I've got on my chest. I've mainly just dressed myself up as I have for now, just so, well, to go with the theme as such. So just get into a more open setting. So the Enviro helm, we've got the chroma on also that you get this year, and the chroma 1, 2 and 3. I haven't got it on my arms because I thought I'd just mix it up and make it look a bit different, because if it's all the same tone colour it can look a bit boring, to be honest. So we've got the chroma 1, 2 and 3 in there, and just to enhance the look, the aura on I've got is the Thrall of Ekron aura. Might not be our choice, you might want to go for something different, but just green themed around nature, so that's more or less what I've got on. Just for what I do have on, we can go down to the auras to change, and the ones I would probably recommend is the venomous aura, which I think is the next one that would look good for this, being green as it is, so that would look okay. That's the venomous aura that I've got on there, which I think will the old style, I forget what it's called now, is it pollen aura? So it's the old style pollen aura, which is kind of like yellowy or orangey colour. I suppose you want to go for a theme of that, you can do, but I go for a green or somewhere along those lines, because I think it suits for what you're wearing. The next one I think would look okay is obviously the wild aura, which is obviously nature themed. I think that can look alright. For the look I've gone for, obviously the red parts for wild don't really suit it so much, but this is really just a review of what you can and can't do based on what there is, because obviously this year it's only the helm, the hands, the emblem and the chromas, so there's not really much I can do with it. The next one we've got is probably the Will-O-Wisp aura, which probably looks more suitable. I think that's many years back we got the Will-O-Wisp aura. If I remember right, it was free if you logged in at a certain point, I think, around about that. And I think that's good with the auras. On the skins at the minute, I've got Bark that's on at the moment, but we'll cover that in a moment. So we've got the Ivy Leaves chroma 1, 2 and 3. So on the head, thank you for that. On the out, obviously depending on what your colour palette is, you can mix up those colours to suit yourself, depending if you want to go without the chroma or not, as I've done on my arms. But obviously when you go into the chroma 1, 2 or 3, it's going to be a set themed colour, so you can mix it up how you want. But that's the first one that's on the head, and then the second one and the third one. I think I'll go the first one at the minute, and it's same with the rest of the stuff that's on there. So you go without, you go with it, going on to the back there, a solid colour or a darker colour, depending on what you want on there. And if you've got anything else you want to change it up with, from 1, 2 or 3, whichever one works out, doesn't really matter. So yeah, the helm is the botanical helm. The arms are the botanical hands. Just for reference, I've got none on there at the minute, which is why it looks greeny yellowy, just to kind of mix it up with the aura and also the emblem that's on the chest. But you can go for the chroma 1, 2 or 3, but I didn't choose that because it's a bit dark, so go for none, and you can mix up those colours whichever you desire, black or yellow or green or red, plant vines or whatever your choice is. If we go down to none, just so we can look at the back skin that I've currently got on at the moment. That's what I've got for the back skin. Now, if I remember right, the back skin back in the day, we're talking quite a few years ago, you could actually go to the Star Labs in the open world, and the vendor that's there, you could get that for one of the skin styles there, and I think it's what, 1,000 or 2,000 to buy it. No marks of any kind, it was just money, like 1,000 or 2,000 money, because it was costless, then you could get it. And then I think it was introduced later on that they removed it from the vendor and you could drop it in the inside content, the seasonal content, and then they moved it from that to the actual seasonal vendor where you buy it for 100. But I know on good authority myself, as well as Trioxin, that we had the bark themed skin long before it came to the seasonal vendor. Oh, many years before it came, because as I said, you could go to Star Labs to get the skin or drop it in game. But nevertheless, I think bark skin is good if you wanted a nature seasonal theme. Bark is good. Glowing is good. If you wanted the glowing, you could go for that colour and change it in your palette. If you wanted to go for the colour in there, skin, I mean, you could change that to a green colour if you wanted to, if you're a darker green. If you wanted to change that, depending on what you wanted to do, you could do that. So there's that option that you can do there. You can also now, which is the recent, which we've got from the skins from the Resurgence Mega Capsule, you can also get the green glowing skin. But the green glowing skin obviously moves slightly, when the glowing one I've said, which is, I used to celestial but goldy yellowy colour, you can get the green that's non-moving. So you've got the option there, the moving, and it's darker with a bit of a black tinge in there, or glowing, where you can actually change the colour yourself depending where you want it, like a dirty green or a clean green or a bright, whichever colour you want to do. There's an option there. And I think also, obviously, the best one is going to be plant, so you can change that up accordingly again to your palette. Obviously you can change the skin there, what colour you want to go with. You can change that if you wanted it green, yellow maybe, or dark, or whichever you want to go, but you'll no doubt already know this. But there's that you can do for the themed. But naturally, obviously, next we're going to go for is the wild, which is obvious, because it's the, again, new Resurgence Mega Capsule skin that's just come out 2023. So out of that, you've got the bark skin, the glowing skin that I said, or the green glowing skin, new skin, the plant skin, old, or the wild skin. The wild skin looks okay, it's moving depending on what theme you want with what you're wearing. The plant skin also is okay, depending on what you're wearing, depending on what's exposed and what's shown. The green glowing skin also is okay, depending on, again, what you're going to show, parts of your skin and what you're wearing. Me personally, I think the glowing or the bark is the best. I think, because the bark skin, again, you can change that colour. You can change that theme to a dark theme skin if you don't want it green and you wanted it to look like a brown. You could like mix that up and mess about till you got a brown colour. I mean, I know it's greenish, but you can look more browny coloured depending on what you wanted to do. So you've got that. I think that the bark is, even though the glowing skin, obviously, I think you can get that from one of the cheap vendors as well. I don't think that's that expensive to buy, to be honest. and the green glowing, obviously that's the new one, but I actually prefer the old one, to be honest, because you can change that to any colour you want and whatever shade you want, when the green glowing is a set colour. And the same with the bark, you can change the bark colour, you can change that. The red tin, you can change whichever colour you want that, the green, whichever colour you want, with what you're already wearing, it'll enhance it even more. So me personally, out of the ones I would recommend, bark, glowing, green glowing, plant and wild, I'd go for bark and glowing, to be honest. But again, it's themed whatever you would deem okay. But anyway, this was the review for the botanical helm, the botanical hands, and the chest and Virotech emblem, and the Chroma 1, 2 and 3, and obviously I spoke about the Aurus, Thrall of Ekron, Venomous, Wild or Will o' the Wisp, and whatever thing you wanted to do. So this was for the Spring Event Seasonal 2023. Thank you.